Right, I've got a bit of a focus onto next season. As we know, this season already we've had Solar, Void and Strand Surges in most of our activities. Next season we're going to see a lot of focus on Arc and Stasis. So I've got a couple of fusion rifles to show you. One called Delicate Tomb, an Arc fusion rifle that's obviously going to be really good next season. But I'm going to use these two fusion rifles in a DPS scenario. Delicate Tomb is the first one I want to show you. This one dropped with the season pass when Season of the Plunder dropped, when the Arc 3.0 rework come out. It's got a couple of traits on there. The first one, it's got Tempest Cascade. Collecting an ionic trace overcharges this next weapon shot, making it jolt. So every time you collect an ionic trace, it's going to jolt targets. And it's also got the Delicate Tomb catalyst. Collecting an ionic trace partially reloads the magazine from reserves. So whenever you pick up an ionic trace, it's going to reload it, so you don't need to reload it. And on top of that, your next shot is going to jolt, which is obviously really good for damage as well. So I've just got a quick example to show you. Click that ionic trace. My next shot is going to apply the Tempest Cascade. That means it's going to jolt. But what I'm going to do is empty the mag, and I'm going to use a pulse grenade on my Titan. I did a whole build on this, which I'll link. But look at that, watch this. It's going to go all the way up to 6. So it's reloading the mag. Now, on a Titan, it works particularly well. Like I said, I did a whole build on this where I was throwing loads and loads of pulse grenades. Pulse grenades are pretty strong at the moment, and they're going to be even better next season. Now, if you run it with the aspect Touch of Thunder, it states here, pulse grenades create ionic traces periodically as it damages targets and increases damage over time. So your pulse grenades are going to do more damage over time, and on top of that, the keyword there is ionic traces, so that fits absolutely perfectly with the Delicate Tomb. You're constantly going to be able to reload. No need to reload, sorry, it's just going to infinitely reload your magazine with them pulse grenades as long as you get a hit. And then every time you collect one of them ionic traces, not only is it going to reload the magazine, it's going to jolt the target. So this in a DPS scenario is actually pretty strong. I've been using this season on and off, and it always does really nice damage, especially on the Titan build that I've got here going on with Heart of Inmost Light, and I was literally throwing grenades like crazy with that build, which I'll link. A good pairing to pair with this is something like an auto-loading rocket launcher, lasting depression rocket launcher, something like that. Hothead if you've got one of them lying about, or another decent rocket launcher, even pairs nice with Galahorn. But with things like this, it's really good. You're jolting that target consistently, and then pulse grenades are just coming back to me with the ionic traces. Sorry, they're just constantly feeding back to me. So it's a really nice little fusion rifle, which I believe is going to be even stronger next season. Like I said, I've been using it on and off this season, and I've always done really good damage with it, especially pairing it with pulse grenades. So I just want to quickly touch on the jolted side of it as well. Just being able to infinitely jolt your targets by picking up them ionic traces. It is a really good extra bit of damage, because jolting does improve your DPS as well. So it's super strong, and obviously if there's any adds around that target as well, that jolting effect is going to clear them up nicely. So it does improve your damage, and I believe jolting as well does improve your team's damage as well. So it's a really nice little fusion rifle. Now the other one I want to talk to you about is one that's come from this season. It's called the Iterative Loop. There's loads of different roles for this one. I will leave a link for that on LightGG so you can check out all the roles. But it's a really nice fusion rifle with some really good rolls on there. It's a 500 rounds per minute, same as Delicate Tomb. The roll I personally put on this one is lead from gold, and I also put on there one of the perfect rolls in my opinion for a grenade build, Demolitionist. So you're going to reload on your grenade throws, and every time you kill an enemy you're going to get grenade energy back as well. So again, I'm going with the sort of no reloading, and it also got the nanotech tracer rockets on there, which again is a bit of extra damage for you. Now I've switched over to my hunter on this build. This is again another build that I did a couple of weeks ago. I'm running double skip grenades. I'll bang on about this a little bit, but again next season we're going to see increases to arc damage. So having 2 skip grenades with a fusion rifle that's arc with demolitionist and lead from gold, again it's a really strong option. And again, like I said, I've used it this season and it's been pretty strong, so it's only going to get better next season. But pairing this fusion rifle with something like Shinobu's Vow and double skip grenades, which also jolt as long as you run the correct fragment, I will leave a link to all these videos that I've done in the past over the last couple of weeks. I'll leave them in the video description. But you'll see there, I'm just constantly spamming this fusion rifle, switching to my rocket launcher, and I'm never having to reload my fusion rifle. So it's an instant damage to an instant boost to your damage, just not having to reload anyway. Now the iterative loop, when it first come out, a lot of people crafted Vault Shot on there. Vault Shot is a really good perk, but for damage you definitely want to be looking at Demolitionist. I will leave a link to this fusion rifle again in the video description so you can see everything that you might want to roll on it. But that's the video. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.